BMW Motorcycle Owners of America present the Airhead 247 short wheelbase. With members in all 50 states, Canada, and across the globe, the BMW MOA invites you to ride inspired. Learn more about membership benefits, including roadside assistance, tire hazard protection, and more at bmwmoa.org. The short wheelbase is also brought to you by Boxer 2 Valve, supplier of quality OEM and aftermarket parts and specialty tools, and by Barrington Motor Works, offering mail-order component repair and in-house mechanical services for vintage and classic BMW motorcycles. On the web at barringtonmotorworks.com.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 46 of the Short Wheelbase podcast. Recording today from my bright and sunny office. I'm sorry, I might need to put some sunglasses on. I'm staring right out a window. But the reason I'm in here is my garage is still an absolute mess. I can't even walk in there, having recently picked up a few Airheads, a whole truckload of parts. So more to come on that. That's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're here to talk about the reason I'm wearing this hat, and that is because of the Handbuilt show. As you might have already known, I went to the Handbuilt show about 2 months ago. Check out all the bikes, check out the race there at Circuit of Americas, and really just do a deep dive on the Airheads that were at the show. So I got a chance to chat with the builders of these bikes, some of which I chatted with after the show because I didn't really get to link up with them initially. Either way, I've got 6 bikes that I was able to get pictures and video of. We're going to kind of dive into each of those bikes here, trying something a little bit different today, doing a little bit of voiceover work. So you get to just hear me talk over the beautiful bikes and get to know these bikes, get to know these builders. And if any of these bikes, if you'd like to learn more about them, obviously check out the builders on Instagram or on their websites, but also comment below. Let me know which bikes you want to learn more about. I'll get in touch with these guys and maybe try to do some show and tell episodes or some more deep dives. I'm already in the process of doing that with a few of them, but if there's anyone that you're interested in, please let me know in the comment section. Also, just let us know what your favorite bike is. Which one do you like the most? What don't you like? Throw it all out there. Let us hear what you think about these bikes. Before we jump into those bikes, I just want to remind everybody to like and subscribe. Be sure to join the MOA. They're our main sponsor, keeping the lights on here. So there's a link in the description below for a free membership offer for the MOA. So jump on that. And without further ado, and before the sun blinds me anymore, we're going to roll right into the footage, and we'll catch you next time on the Short Wheelbase. All right, let's get this started with a bike that should look familiar. This is the 1973 R75/5 MRP charity bike. It was a collaboration between Brandon Reams, Matt Norman of EME, myself, and the entire Denver Airhead community. This restoration was started by Brandon's dad, Brooke. The vision was to restore it and raffle it off to benefit the Motorcycle Relief Project. The only thing that changed from the original vision is the hardest part of this story. Brooke unfortunately passed away before he could really dive into this project, so we picked it up and we got it done. It took weeks for Brandon to convince me to ride this once it was done, and I gotta say, it's amazing. It rides just like it rolled off the showroom floor in 1973. Thanks to Matt Isles, Dick Passion, Imperial Sport Bikes, the amazing Denver Airhead crew, and of course, Brooke Reams. You want to win this bike? Click on the link in the description to learn more about the raffle. Next up, we have one coming from Joseph and Sarah Horak out of Akron, Ohio, and Dallas, Texas. And it's their first time showing at the Handbuilt. The donor is a 1976 R75/6, but for them, this was never about building a motorcycle. It was about creating something meaningful that represented their story and their adventure that they've shared since meeting at the Handbuilt back in 2023. The bike became a symbol of the lifetime of adventure they hope to spend together. The modification Joseph is most proud of is the headlight. Through Nate Kern, he sourced an OEM BMW R9T headlight from one of Nate's race bikes, and that became the piece that tied the whole vision together. Joseph is quick to say that he can't take credit for building the entire bike. He found the right foundation and with the help of friends, turned it into something uniquely theirs. As he put it wasn't ordered out of a catalog. It came together through friendships, favors, late nights, and a lot of intention behind every decision. They haven't put many miles on it yet because it came right down to the wire getting it ready. For the thanks, Joseph wanted to shout out his lifelong friend Nick Cox, the Handbuilt team, Nate Kern, Sarah's youngest daughter, Casey Elkins of Crossover Customs, Daytona Helmets, and Cardo. Keep your eyes on the Short Wheelbase feed, as I've already started talks with Joseph and Sarah for a more in-depth story about this bike and their moto-fueled love story. This one's from David Schoeneman at Lineage Motorcycles out of Nashua, New Hampshire, and it's their first time showing at the Handbuilt show. The engine and frame come from a 1976 R75/7, with everything else pulled from various models and years, or aftermarket parts but it didn't have OEM on hand. The original 750 has been punched out to 1000cc. The vision was to use parts they already had in the shop wherever possible and build a clean, simple roadster suited for New Hampshire backroads. Something with a spirited ride that starts conversations wherever you stop. The plan was to put all the attention on the color of the tank and let everything else play the supporting role. The vision didn't really change, but the color did take a while to land on. They considered guards red, maybe with white accents, before settling on this orange. And I think it works really well. It certainly gets the attention. Everything was built in-house except the tank paint, which went to Vern's Auto Body. David says the acceleration is as spirited as they had hoped, with 1000cc and Mikuni flat sides. It's a bit loud on the straight pipes, but they're experimenting with some baffles to quiet it down. David wanted to say thanks to Vern's Auto Body, EME, Rick's Motorsport Electrics, Revival Cycles, Spiegler USA, and Anti-Gravity Batteries for the technical help and quality parts. As he put it, there's so much to learn, and these folks have the expertise. This bike comes from Judd Blunk up in Woodacre, California, and he's quick to tell you that this is just a hobby. That said, this is somewhere around his 4th or 5th bike at Handbuilt. Clearly, he's pretty good at this hobby. Him and his buddies always went out to Austin for MotoGP. Once Judd started building bikes, he submitted one, it was accepted, and now it's just kind of a tradition. The donor is a 1993 R100 GS. Judd's done a few of this type before, and the vision is always the same: lighten it, stiffen it, and update all the issues that these old bikes have picked up over the years. The modification he's most proud of is the aluminum rear subframe made in his shop by him. The custom triple clamps, the powder coating, and the wheels were pieces that he farmed out. As for the ride, with the stiffened frame and updated suspension, he says it's got great feedback and good turn-in. He's only ridden it on twisty asphalt, not off-road yet. The wheelbase is slightly longer than stock, so it handles a touch slower, which really means it's more stable. Judd wanted to shout out Elite Coatings in Santa Rosa for the powder coat, Woody's Wheelworks for the wheels, and of course, Matt Norman of EME, who he says he relies on for all of his builds. Bringing the bling are builders Luis Arguello and Eduardo Rodriguez. They are part of Wolfsmiths Motors out of Houston, where they specialize in air-cooled builds, BMW Airheads, Honda 4s, Triumph Twins, and Harley V Twins. The Wolfsmiths have had 4 commissioned custom Airheads for the show over the years. They call this one Chrome Magnum. The donor is a 1971 R60/5 with stock 600cc engine, and they did a top-end rebuild on it for peace of mind. This was an early Wolfsmiths build, a bit of a time capsule and prototype, with heavy influence from Eduardo's love of 70s and 80s American chopper culture. It pushes on what you can do with a classy Euro motorcycle. It's not quite a cafe racer, it's not quite a chopper, it sits somewhere in between. They're proud of the whole thing, the simplicity of it, and the commanding impression it makes. The custom subframe follows the lines of the original frame and tank. There are custom stitched leather grips, subtle inverted brass levers, a chrome fishtail exhaust, and a fully polished chrome dipped frame. The entire build was done in-house by Eduardo and Luis. And it rides comfortably, they say. Well, at least until you get wide open on it and the fishtails start to really make their noise. It starts to make it feel like you're twisting metal. Luis says it's mental. And I've heard it run. I can confirm, it's pretty mental. They wanted to thank David Ho for finding this motorcycle and letting them tear into it with full creative freedom. This one comes from Houston as well, but this time from Antonio and the boys at 72 Performance USA. You might remember them from last year's show. They brought an R100 and a K75 dirt scrambler, so they're not new to this. The donor is a 1991 R80, and this build started with a customer named Max. Max is Italian, and he's not really a tall guy, so he wanted a scrambler that was built around his own measurements so he could ride with confidence. That's where the shape of this bike comes in. The tail is low and close to the fuel tank and rises up through the back end, all to fit the rider. When I asked what modifications they're most proud of, it wasn't one single thing. It was how it all flows together. The tail, the exhaust, the seat. As Antonio put it, a lot of Airhead builds kind of look the same, and they think their bikes have a little bit of a different point of view. And taking a look at this bike, I really can't argue with that. As for what's left of the donor, pretty much just the engine and the frame. New front end, brakes, electronic ignition, hydraulic clutch, custom rear suspension, custom stainless exhaust, leather seat, spoked wheels, you name it, it's all new. Word is they built it to ride. Stable, capable, and fast. They reinforced the frame near the front end so you can really get on those 320mm floating brakes without really having to worry about anything. The top recorded speed from the GPS Speedo so far is 123 miles per hour, so they also have data to back up their claims. Antonio moved to the US 3 years ago, and he thanks God. He opened the new shop last year with his partners Cole Munger and Brad Eccles. I'm sorry, Brad, I might be mispronouncing your name there. But Antonio says they're here to stay.
Thanks for joining us on the Short Wheelbase podcast, presented by the BMW Motorcycle Owners of America. To join the club, visit bmwmoa.org. You can find full-length episodes of the excerpts heard here on the Airhead 247 podcast. The Short Wheelbase podcast is produced and edited by Nick Malozzi, audio segments by Jeff Glover. You can check in with Nick at Airhead Misfits on Instagram.